In Columbia, South Carolina, for every 500 citizens, there is one Christian church. And for every 3 teenage girls, one of them is already a mother. 1 in 3 is a shocking statistic. And you might expect the citizens of Columbia to respond, as New Yorkers did, by providing free condoms in every high school. But if you expected that, you don't know the American South. The devout citizens of Columbia have responded by combining their fundamentalist values with that uniquely American institution, the prom. Tonight, in a rented hall, girls arrive in ball gowns, but not with their boyfriends. They are here with their fathers at what organizers call a purity ball, an event with a fairy tale theme and a Christian message.
Our theme verse says the king is enthralled by your beauty. And that's talking about God. That's God looking at you and going, wow, she is so beautiful. She is so incredible. So I want this night to be a message to you that you are precious.
At the end of the evening, Kimberly will ask these girls to make a formal pledge to abstain from sex.
The wording that we used in the covenant, we didn't actually talk about sex. It was all done in a very elegant, delicate way.
16-year-old Brahia doesn't need to hear the S word to know what is expected of her.
A boyfriend, maybe in the future, when I'm stable to have a boyfriend in my studies. I won't go past holding hands, because I feel if you do anything more, it'll progress.
Brahia's father, Miles, will also make a pledge tonight to take responsibility for his daughter's sexuality until she's married.
Sort of like I'm standing married to my daughter in a symbol until somebody takes my place. And I'll be standing there in the place of her future husband. And I think to be pure until that point is to be celebrated.
I know he wants me to be his little girl forever. Until I get married, I still have my innocence and basically still be his little girl, and the relationship won't fade.
You asked me, did I hold out until I was married? I did not, and I know the lives that I've affected.
The Purity Ball attracts only a small percentage of Columbia's teenage girls, but there is one girl who wants to be here very badly, 16-year-old Jasmine, who is 8 months pregnant.
I never thought I would be sitting here at 16 pregnant, caught up in boys and think I'm in love. First time my mom, I was pregnant, she just broke down in tears.
I've always raised Jasmine with the understanding that, no sex before marriage and the results of it. And I think now, she really realizes now the safeguard that I was trying to put out there for her. Mommy folded up his clothes all by herself.
Mommy got to fold up her own clothes by herself.
Well, that's life.
Recently, Jasmine learned that this year, for the first time, the Purity Ball will welcome pregnant teens.
What led me to the choice of attending the ball is, in my situation, me being pregnant at a young age and making a kind of mistake at so young, I feel is like a starting over point for me.
And Jasmine's father is not part of her family right now, so she has no dad to escort her.
On this picture.
She hopes to substitute her brother, Marcus.
I wish he could take me to the dance.
I'm sure he wished he was going to be able to come home and take you, since it is a father-daughter dance, and he's your big brother, and he feel like he's your father. He like to boss you around and tell you what to do.
But Marcus is at a military base preparing to deploy to Iraq. Jasmine's only other option is her mother.
My mother is like my closest father figure. She's my mom and my dad, kind of all into one. My mom been there with me through everything, so it would mean more to me if she was there, because we've been through so much together, to have a fresh, clean start together.
But can a pregnant teenager really make a fresh, clean start at a Purity Ball? There are no pregnant girls in fairy tales. And this is an event that encourages girls and their fathers to share a fairy tale dream.
I'll be releasing her into Prince Charming, and they'll be living happily ever after. They won't live too far, so I can visit them. I'll be babysitting the grandkids. I'll be loving them. They'll be visiting. We'll be visiting each other, and we'll just live happily ever after. Sounds like a storybook, but that's what I would like it to be. I know that that's what she would like it to be. I know that's what her mother would like it to be, and it can be that way.
In spite of the obvious challenges, Jasmine is determined to be a princess too, if only for one night.
One dress I got, it wouldn't fit at all. The other dress I got from my cousin, it came from her prom back in 2004. I thought surely it would fit. Didn't work either, because the stomach and everything. I finally got the third dress from my friend, and it fit perfectly.
Jazz, you have any idea how you want your hair for tonight?
I don't know. Just don't make it crazy looking.
Would I do that to you?
Yeah.
Tonight, when Jasmine takes the vow of purity, it'll be a very special moment for both herself and me, because she's making a commitment to herself and to me. Being a single mom, I feel like I should make this commitment also to let her know that I'm going to raise her in a moral household. I myself have been involved with a gentleman for the past 8 years, and I don't want my daughter looking at me, well, Mom, if it's okay for you, why it's not okay for me? You're not married, you know. So together, we're making this vow.
As the sun sets on Columbia, girls begin to arrive at the purity ball with their fathers.
Miles White. That's it. That's me.
Jasmine arrives with her mother.
The one thing that I think my mom couldn't do that I wish my dad was here to do is father-daughter dances and stuff.
And then, a miracle of sorts, and not the fairy tale kind. On compassionate leave from the military, Jasmine's brother Marcus arrives.
We first found out that Jasmine was pregnant. Marcus was out in Oklahoma doing his basic training. He even told her, I'm disappointed in you. I'm sure Mama's disappointed in you, but just make sure this doesn't happen again. I'm going to be there for you. I'll look out for you. He sent her some change you need, anything,
Change?
He sent her some money, you need some clothes.
Entire paychecks.
Just everybody together and going through the same thing. I'm not alone in it.
Let's all stand for the covenant, please. Repeat after me. I choose.
I choose.
Before God.
Before God.
To cover you.
To cover you.
As your authority and protection.
As your authority and protection.
And to protect the gift of my purity.
And to protect the gift of my purity. Yeah.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
Until the day.
Until the day.
I give that precious gift.
I give that precious gift.
To my husband.
To my husband.
I make a promise this day.
To God.
In return for their pledge of sexual abstinence, each girl gets one of these.
May this tiara. Remind you of God's delight in you.
And so, Daddy's little princess becomes God's little princess, deferring not simply sex, but independent adulthood in return for love from their heavenly and earthly father. Brahia seems happy with the deal. For Jasmine, it's more about the feeling that she is just as much a princess as all the other girls. Columbia's Purity Ball is one of several hundred held in America each year. There is no conclusive evidence that these events have any impact on teen pregnancy, but for some here tonight, this Purity Ball was less about preventing new families and more about reinventing the idea of family itself.
The best part, I feel, was to look in each other's eyes and knowing that this is a bond between the three of us.
And in case you're wondering, 3 weeks later, Jasmine gave birth to a beautiful 8.5-pound baby boy.